think a second.
I wouldn't think a second. I would, all of my friends, and by the way, these same friends right now, I've said this before, if I needed something, even today, they would give it to me. If I needed a kidney, they would give it to me. These, which actually makes it more disturbing, these people are in a cult. And it allows them to separate everything they've learned in school, everything they've learned in church, everything they've read in Jesus' words, everything they've read in the New Testament, everything they've read in the Gospels, everything they've read in the Old Testament, and they're able to separate that and embrace this alternate reality. And for some reason, I guess watching it happen with somebody, and let me say, by the way, and Mika will tell you this, I don't, you know, Donald Trump, you know, this isn't about Donald Trump calling me a murderer. This is about me talking to my friends and them having this massive disconnect and not understanding that if a president had called them a murderer and said they should be thrown in jail and then, of course, you know, capital punishment, all that, I would have been the first to rush up there. We would have all rushed up there. This is so bizarre and beyond. And so they knew that was a lie, right? And if he was going to lie in such a grand way about something as crazy as that, Willie, I'll get to Willie when I want to get to Willie.
He's right there.
I see him. I'll get to him when I feel like it. Don't tell me to go to Willie. I'll go to Willie when I feel like it. So if he's going to lie about that, Willie, well, what the hell won't he lie about? And then we get to the things that matter. The vaccine. Like, why won't he come out and tell them people are lying about the vaccine? Why won't he be aggressive on the front lines? The election, which is what we're talking about now.
The insurrection.
Why does he keep lying about the election? Why does he keep lying about the insurrection? He was the guy who inspired it. But most importantly, those people that were booing in the audience, I've got to tell you, I'm just at a loss. Why are they still embracing him? And liberals who are stupid go, oh, you supported a cut in the capital gains tax. You were part of this all along. Like, what morons? Just shut up and get off my Twitter feed. Just shut up and get off my Twitter feed. Willie, I gotta say, I can't grasp how this happened. People I know, people I love, people who have always stood, forget about politics, but in life, for what's right. People who taught their kids to do the right thing. People who lived by a code that made me proud to be their friends. What happened? I have no idea. I never would have believed this 5 years ago. And I tell you the truth, I never believed that 75 million Americans would vote for this guy. They did. Then the insurrection came. I never would have believed they would have stayed with him. I'm telling you, I've said it before. You can put all the polls up that show that Joe Biden has a 63% approval rating, whatever. And he was going to win Wisconsin by 20 points. If the election were held today, Donald Trump would get 75 million votes. He hasn't lost a single vote. And yes, you can give me all, you can say, oh, my cousin in Scranton's not voting for him next time. No, he would get the 75. I don't know a single person who's changed their mind. There's certainly not enough people. You look at these polls, he dominates the Republican Party even more. And of course, they're going to keep losing elections. They may win in 2022 for obvious reasons, but national elections are done as a national party. So this isn't about politics. This is about me looking back over the past 50 years and realizing that almost everybody that I grew up with, everybody that I loved then and love now, live by a different set of realities when it comes to politics.